Greetings, peace be with you. In this video, I want to share with you the truth about religion. Okay, so I know this can be a touchy topic. I mean, more lives have been taken in the name of religion than perhaps any other idea or ideology, right? So I know that this can be a sensitive topic for many, but in this video, like I said, I want to get to the core of what this really is. Okay, so I'm a student of etymology, right? Looking at where these words actually came from. What's the root word of religion? It actually comes from Latin, religare, which literally means to bind, right? To bind. Now, what can we take away from this? To bind, right? To bind. What does that even mean? So, in my eyes, in my view, it's like binding reality back to its original form, right? Binding it back from duality into unity, right? Now, the common threads that we see throughout religion at the end of the day, like when we really dive deep into them and study them and begin to practice them rather than get caught up in what our parents told us or what our priest told us or what our Molana told us or what our cousin told us, right? Because there's so many people that have very, very strong and rigid beliefs about religion, whereby they kill other people if they don't agree with them. And those beliefs are actually based on not a foundation, but based on ideas that they picked up from other people, right? Because really, like every religion that I've studied at this point in my path, like I'm deeply curious. I study all of these spiritual texts, right? Whether it's the Bhagavad Gita, whether it's the Torah, whether it's the Old Testament, whether it's the New Testament, whether it's the Quran. I mean, based on my understanding and my view, my perspective, right? I'm not saying that I'm right, I'm wrong, I'm good, I'm bad. I'm just sharing with you my view, right? And my view is that ultimately they're all saying that life is one, right? The creator of life is one. We come from the same source. To the same source we will return. This material world is an illusion, right? So don't give in to the illusion and serve the bigger picture, right? Serve the higher force, right? Walk your dharma, right? Because that is the source of everything that ever is, was, or can be, right? This entity, whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it Allah, whether you want to call it Yahweh, whether you want to call it the source, whether you want to call it consciousness, whether you want, these are all labels, right? They're all pointing towards the same thing. I love the analogy in Buddhism, right? They're like the finger pointing at the moon is not the moon, right? In the same way, all these religions that we have in modern society, they've been communicated through language, through words, right? And we've been caught up so much with the word of God, right? What is the word of God, right? The word of God is this. If you don't follow the word of God, then you're going to get killed. I'm going to kill you, right? And this has been going on for millennia, right? But we become so concerned with what the word of God is, but words are only symbols, they're insignias, they're just labels. They don't mean, they're air, right? Become so concerned with the words and we have missed out on the experience of God, right? What is this dilemma, right? Whereby we become so concerned with the words, and words are interpretations, man. Like two people can read the same words and have totally different meanings from them, right? But like I said, it comes down to religare. It means to bind, go back to the original unity. And coincidentally enough, that is what yoga means as well, right? Yoga literally means union. And that is my perception of all of these old texts coming in, right? Because it's not about, like, you know, like people get so attached to their certain belief structure, to their certain label. Oh, I am a Christian. Oh, I am a Muslim. Oh, I am a Hindu, right? And then it's like Christians against Muslims, Muslims against Hindus, Hindus against someone else, and then Jews against everyone else. It's just like this vicious cycle going on, right? So what is at the core of this cycle, and what is the truth behind why this cycle actually is taking place, all right? So understand that this is all a result of corporate religion, all right? The truth about religion is that it's all the message of unity, right? Of all the message of one source that is that like we all came from the same source, right? That's what every religion, based on my perception, is telling us right now. We all came from that same divine essence, right? And therefore, the golden rule is to treat other people like you want to treat yourself, right? But then there's corporate religion that comes in with certain agendas, right? With certain politics, with certain finances that comes in, right? The Roman Catholic Church and all of this, like crusades going on, right? What's the purpose behind that? It's like, look, it depends how deep you want to go into this, right? Because I have dug deep into what's really going on behind the scenes, and the way I see it, it's like there is this 1% of 1% of 1% of people, right? It's like the puppet masters, and they're basically playing these puppets against each other. The Muslims against the Hindus against someone, the Muslims, the Christians against the Muslims, the Jews against, right? They're just playing the puppets all across each other, and this is so that they can divide and rule people, right? And even within Muslims, it's like, oh yeah, he's Shia, he's Sunni, he is Ismaili. There's like so many different divisions, and then they're killing. Oh yeah, you're not this, I'm gonna kill you, right? And these divisions are actually taking place to divide and rule, right? So the people don't even know that they're being played right now, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's about understanding that, you know, what is the ultimate truth, the ultimate reality, that all of life is one. That's the only ultimate reality, right? Everything else has changed. Everything else is in a constant flux. No moment is ever the same, other than that one awareness, that one creator, that one source of everything that ever was, is, or can be, right? That's my perception, right? I'm not saying that you should agree with anything that I say, right? I'm just sharing with you my views. But that then corporate religion comes in, and then they divide people. Oh, you're Protestant. Oh, you're Catholic. Oh, you're that, you're this, right? Oh, I'm gonna kill you because you don't believe the same thing I do, right? And really, I think that there's these puppet masters up there playing people against each other. And the more that they can play people against each other, the more that the people are divided, right? We have race wars going on. We have people just, you know, fighting over the inability to come up with the same belief. It's like, yo, you can believe whatever you want, man. Like, you can believe whatever it is that you want, based on your experience, based on what you think is best for you. But where it becomes dangerous is whereby I think something, and if you don't believe me, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna slaughter you, I'm gonna like just do this, right? And that conditioning runs very, very deep. It's generational, right? It's generational. It's been coming on for like, say, hundreds and hundreds of years, right? This corporate religious conditioning, whereby the agenda is just to put people against each other so that they're easier to control, right? So that people are divided, and the divide and rule, right? That's just the primary rule that is running the whole agenda at the end of the day, right? Because once we realize that, you know, there's an awakening coming, there's a wave. You can feel, if you're watching this video, you're riding that wave as well. You're beginning to wake up to absolute reality. You're beginning to wake up to pure consciousness that is having these different experiences, right? We are all each other living different lives, right? We are all, at the essence, pure consciousness, and we're having the individual experience through our particular body, through our particular lifeline, right? And once we begin to actually understand this, that's step number one, awareness, then we can actually begin to dictate our decisions through that lens as well, right? And then there's like people who are like, oh, I'm atheist, I don't believe in religion, right? Look, at the end of the day, everyone has a religion, okay? Everyone worships something. It's just that the decision to be made, right? Whether you worship a higher force, the bigger picture, service to humanity, or whether you worship validation from women, whether you worship validation from your peers, whether you worship getting drunk every single night, whether you worship entertainment, right? At the end of the day, just run an audit of where you spend your time, where you spend your money, and that's going to give you a good idea of what is truly important to you, right? I have a buddy, he's like, I'm atheist, screw religion, I don't believe in religion. It's like, where do you spend, like, you're going to worship something at the end of the day, right? Where you spend your time, energy, money, that is what is truly important to you, okay? So just a message to share some of my own thoughts around religion, right? Because there's like a bad rep associated with religion, but I think that there's just different paths leading to the same destination, right? At the end of the day, that's my perception. And some people might hate me for that. They might want to kill me for that, okay? They're like, how dare you say that everyone's the same? We are the chosen people. We are. That's like some totalitarianism, Nazism coming in over there, man. And it's dangerous, man, because it still exists in very, very large quantities, especially in the area I'm in right now. But, you know, there is a wave, and we're waking up to the game that's being played with the elite. These elites that are playing people against each other so that they're easier to control, okay? But if you're watching this video, then you're probably waking up. You're understanding that there's a power inside of you that is at the core of every single person as well. And the more that we can begin to treat each other like we would treat ourselves, the more that we elevate as a collective consciousness, the more we actually let go of these games being played by the elites and claim our power back to actually choose the way that we want to show up and really create the lives that we are here to create, right? At the end of the day, just keep this in mind. All life is one, right? All life is one. And from the same source we arose, to the same source we will return. And with that, I will conclude this video, and I will see you in the next one.